Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Excellent. Should we start check-ins?
Are you seeing the note?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Should I start? Also,
Yeah, go ahead.
Sandra's supposed to be here, but we'll see.
Okay.
Maybe she'll jump back out. She was having trouble with her mic or something.
Okay. So, but was she here before?
Yeah, she was just here. She just couldn't hear her, so hopefully she'll get it fixed. All right.
Okay. Maybe she'll fix it.
I'm a 3. I have been doing a lot of work on the payrolls and multimedia communications. I've also been working on some of the finances and lots of taxes, mainly nonprofit taxes, and then also um, doing the whole Spanish team and getting everything set up. But also trying to help Sandra with her proposal. She's looking to get some capital payouts, which is the new term
Hi,
for
Jay.
back pay.
Hi.
Well, we can hear you
Hi.
now, Sandra. Excellent. But yeah, but overall, we're still sort of a mess. We have not been able to really get functional. And we're doing recruitment. Yes, we're doing a lot of recruitment now as well. But I'm hopeful for the future and excited about getting people back involved and just trying to figure out how to move forward. Check.
Okay.
Please, can I get the note?
I can link them to Jitsi. Oh, I know. I can also link them to SFC server here. Let's see here.
Okay.
All right, who wants to check in next?
Okay, I'll go next. I'm at 4. It has really been. I've really been going through a lot, and I'm happy that we are able to put away our differences and see how we can move forward. I've been working on my form, trying to sketch a proposal, a budget proposal for FQN, and I hope we get agreement and move forward. Check.
Sandra, you want to check in?
Yeah, I'll go next. Sandra, I'm a 5. 5. Okay. I'm happy that everything is beginning to turn it for good, like meeting and all team members. I've been trying to work on payroll, base equity, and base upfront to get things move forward, and try to sort out things. I just pray that everything will be peaceful and normal, so that we can be able to make things work. Check. I'd be happy to see you again, by the way.
Thank you. Me too. Okay. So let's go to our focus on outcome. Okay, you see Jay is already putting some man. Sandra, did you finally move to the US?
I just returned.
Yeah, she moved there and came back. So she did her it's like a sabbatical or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I just because I joined back the team last month, but I'll soon be moving back there finally if things work out for good for me.
It will.
Amen. Just the point.
So I would suggest either starting with Sandra's capital payout, FQN budget, FQN umbus, payroll tokens. Yeah. Where do we want to start for
No
topic
objection
one?
from me.
Well, which topic should we do?
Yes, we can just start with the other Sandra's capital payout.
Sandra's?
Payout.
Okay, let's start with Sandra. All right, so Sandra, you have been wanting to get some funds, so let's discuss, all options to get Sandra funds quickly-ish. And then we can also go over the proposal for capital payout. This is what we used to call back pay. So so now we call it capital payout because you can use pretty much all of your tokens for capital payouts instead of so back pay was the T2ML was a specific token that was the quote back pay quote token end quote, and so now it's like you have your capital ownership and all of it can be sold for a payout. So it's just a better
the same way you did for us, right?
Correct. Yes. So yes. But there's a few changes in terms of it being against policy. But anyways, we'll work that out. All right. So topic one. Any objections to topic one?
No objection from me.
No objection.
Looks like we have the tab already, so we'll just add Sandra here.
Okay.
All
right. So I would start with options to help Sandra and pay and get more pay, right? So let's start with the easy options. Obviously, is complete the upfront payroll, right? And this is for the 102 degree. It's not a lot of money. It's gonna be like, I don't know, $15, $20. I don't know, maybe less. Say $10 to $20. As far as like, you only worked 1 week, right? It was just one single week that month.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is one week of work. All right. So from there we have we could finish. So you could sell, finish the bonus.
Jay, are you recording?
Yes.
I don't think so. Are you recording?
Yes, I'm recording. It should be a live stream. Let me double check and get the link. It's always good to have the link all organized here so I can verify. Yeah, it does say it's live right now, so this is good. And I'll also get the link organized here. So I'll put the link on the prep tab so it's there. Okay, cool. So yeah, so everything's verified on the recording. But it is good to have backup recordings always. So let's do a backup recording. Oh wow.
Let me do backup.
Okay, so I have a backup recording. Oh, and let's also let Lucy check it.
I'm at 3.5 and I've been working on taxes, payroll, legal payroll, yes, check, and accounting.
Did someone get that written down in our check-ins?
Yes, I'm writing it down.
Thank you. Perfect. All right, so Lucy, we are on topic one for Sandra. We're just going over the options of how to help Sandra get some more money. So we have the first option is the payroll, completing the payroll. The second option is finishing the bonus token for the 98-degree leap era. Can someone link that so we can verify? So this is so we can verify how much that might be, because I don't know how many tokens.
Okay, let me check the. Is it the same document that I sent to be voted on for FQN?
I think I found it. Yeah, these are the FQN tokens. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so I'm linking it now. So here is the link.
Okay.
And let's just see if we can find Sandra. So everyone's getting, we have lots of tokens going on. You got a lot of payouts, so you don't have a lot. But you do have some tokens here, it says. So it says Sandra. Here we go. So you should be expecting 1, 2, 3, 4. A good chunk of tokens. So this is it's gonna be over 8,000, 9,000 tokens for Sandra. But the only valuable ones are really the T2ML and the PB64. So the PB64 and T2ML are the ones that are going to be the most valuable, and you only have 281 of those. So we can estimate that it should be a couple, dozen dollars. I mean, I don't know the exact value. We'll have to calculate that, but that is definitely an option. We're almost done with that. So we could do the certification today and then get those sold for you if you want to sell them. All right, so that is another option. Other options include doing the the bonus payroll for 102 and then asking for a loan. We can also do a direct capital payout. There's two options for this. One is that we calculate the escrow, co-op escrow for value, and if there's funds in there, that'd be actually pretty easy. Or we can take a loan. So those are the two options for the capital payout, and you already have a proposal. So Sandra has already proposed $100, up to $100. So that is required to be voted on. So we can vote on that now if we want. And then the last way is that it is actually technically November, December moon month, and we can start doing the half year bonuses. So the half year bonus could also be calculated and distributed based on the budget for the end of the half year. Because technically it's been 6 months already, and next month is the 7th month of the half year, which only happens once every 2.5 years for the leap era. I think. So those are the options I can think of. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 options for getting, no, 5 options.
Jay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Where is the money for bonus upfront is coming from?
The bonus upfront payroll would be a loan. It would have to be a loan. So technically, because this one.
Why is it a loan? Because last time you said everything is based on we don't take loan right now. We don't do back pay right now. Everything is based on income. Why is it now we cannot do bonus payroll? Because if a team did the bonus client work, they are eligible to get the bonus payroll and get their own bonuses to get paid.
Yeah, so it's simply just against policy. So you're right on all of it. We don't do the bonuses because we don't make enough funds, and we haven't updated the multiplier, and we have not gotten approval to do any loans because it's against policy to do loans now. So, but that doesn't mean that it's not possible. It's just every time anyone's proposed doing a loan, it has been rejected so far with SFC. So it doesn't mean it's impossible. It's just against policy.
But it's just something that you propose. It just bring, like, we know in a policy that there is no proposal for, actually for direct capital. I know that is no, we don't have. It has never been there since we voted. We
Yeah.
don't have. We don't have for that, and it just done like that. But
Yes.
I just have a question on bonus payroll, because where is the money of clan work goes? Because we have a bonus payroll, bonus upfront payroll. Like we have 7 months. In fact, right now was proposing we need to have a bonus payroll, everything they need to get theirs. Then if we are not going to get the bonus upfront payroll, then there is no need of putting bonus upfront payroll on the payroll.
But it is an option. The bonus payroll is an option. I'm just listing the options. I'm not saying one way or another. I can say the difficulty level, right? We can have the difficulty level, and this is obviously very easy, right?
No, I was asking where is the money of bonus payroll is coming from, because based on
It would have to be a loan. I already said 5 times that it is a loan.
You said last time it come from client work. I remember very well. When I was working on doing the legal payroll, there was no client work. Then there is no, the client was, there is a month that we have zero client work. So that means there is no bonus payroll. So now, what is the, we need to get the money of bonus upfront payroll. Then we need to, then if there is no bonus upfront payroll, we need to get that out on the payroll, because it is in the policy of payroll. Then if the policy say you have client work, you have to get your bonus. In this case, we need to know where the escrow money it will be for the bonus upfront payroll.
Okay, that's fine. We don't have to do the bonus upfront payroll because it's very difficult, but it's not impossible. It's just all about getting agreement. So I mean, I'm agreeing with you. I agree with you that it's I put a cross through it because it's very, very difficult. Also, the loan for the direct capital payout is very difficult, so I can put a cross through it because the probability of getting that approved is very low.
But we need to have the bonus upfront. Why should you cross bonus upfront? It is a part of the payroll. She can still get money of that on their team for the bonus upfront. We just need
but there's just no money. It would be a loan.
It should not be loan. It should be a escrow money for the team that they brought in their team.
I know there's not enough funds to cover even the base payroll. So there's certainly not funds to cover the bonus payroll.
We have with the money of escrow should be covering their own payroll.
The escrow would be for doing the direct capital payout. That would be the escrow for doing back pay. So as far as I can tell, there are there's 5 options. Say what?
I think that's something we need to revisit some of the policies, especially when it comes to bonus upfront. With that, we know that we're supposed to get when we do the clan work, but now we are not going to get because the money goes to escrow. Why should the team not getting the bonus upfront pay for that? We work on clan work.
Okay, so Lucy, what we need to do for the bonus upfront pay is we need to update the multiplier, and then once the multiplier has been updated, we will have bonus upfront payroll every single month, but we just haven't updated the multiplier. So that's a separate task that we need to do, which is obviously going to be difficult and complicated. But so update multiplier for bonus upfront pay. So this would be hard. We'll call it hard, but it's not impossible. But it'd be easier to do for next month, right? As opposed to this month or the previous month.
So all our bonuses for this whole 7 months, we are not going to get bonus upfront payroll for the whole 7 months.
The whole way that our current model works is that first we cover the base payroll. If there's not enough money to cover the base payroll, then there's no funds for the bonus payroll, right? So unless you've completed the work, if you complete work, then you get bonuses regardless. from there, because we're only talking about pay, the base pay and all the pay is for doing work that you did not complete, right? So from there, what we do is we're going to update the multiplier, and then when we update the multiplier, we're going to create a separate escrow specifically for bonus payroll to cover nighttime work. And that's going to come from everybody to make sure that people get the overtime value covered in the upfront payroll. So that is just updating the multiplier. And we have that approved. We just haven't done the work to update the multiplier. Do you understand, Lucy?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead.
So it's just work that needs to happen. It's a little bit more difficult than calculating the escrow value for the existing capital payouts, or doing the half-year bonus calculations. Though that's pretty easy work, but I would call it medium because you actually have to do calculations. Whereas option 1 and 2, there's no calculations required at all. So we have 2 easy options, 2 medium options that are really basically easy, but it just requires a little bit of calculations. We have 1 very hard option, and we have 2 extremely difficult options. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's still.
Oh, look, we have Martins. Martins, you want to check in?
Yes, I want to check in. Guys, so I'm trying to allow you guys to finish the conversation. So, let me check in. Sorry.
Check in. Go for it.
So, check in. So, check in 4.5. I have been working on recruitment for the HR for like 2 weeks now. And we started working on payroll about 5 days ago. And even before that, we have been working on revenue generation, trying to focus on which aspect of responsibility can actually work alongside with this mission regarding executive fundraising. Check.
Cool. All right. So back to topic number 1. So,
Okay.
Sandra, did anyone work on the proposal or the calculations for the escrow? Can we at least get the link to the escrow ledger? Lucy, do you have that?
I don't understand about escrow ledger.
Okay, remember when you
Actually,
got
escrow that you are talking about, I think that should be the bonuses for everybody.
those are the half-year bonuses. It's the health bonuses when you calculated your health bonus. It's also the value for all the reimbursements when you calculate the reimbursements.
We have a very little amount that we need to do for the people to get the end
Okay,
of
but
year
can you
bonus.
please calculate? Can you please give us the link to that spreadsheet?
Give me the link.
Thank
that
you.
should be for the half of the year bonuses.
It's for all of the things that we have in escrow. We have reimbursements.
Remember, Jay, this WCG team, there is still no payroll is not done. Whatever I'm going to calculate, just only for one team.
Well, we have 3 teams that you can calculate for.
That is the major problem. They don't know the payroll is not there.
Well, the Spanish team is completed, so you can do that.
The Spanish, I don't know the language. It is in their language.
It's not. It's all in numbers. If it's in numbers, you don't need to know anything except for the numbers. All right, so Sandra, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to go ahead and vote on this $100, or do you have any comments, Sandra, on how to move forward, or?
Yes, I do have something to say. I don't know. I don't just want to talk more. I don't want this very thing to bring unnecessary argument or issue between anybody, as if maybe they want to give me all the old things money. Please, can we do option 2, like to check my token, please?
Yes, I think option 2 should be pretty simple. So let's get the link to the escrow account. So there's 4 escrow accounts. We have we've got reimbursement, half-year bonuses, health benefits, and capital payouts. So let's verify that those are all correct as far as our escrow. And then
I'm still getting my machine is loading slowly.
and then we can find out how much value is in the escrow accounts. So yeah, it's 4: reimbursement, half-year bonuses, health benefits, and capital payouts. So those are the 4 current escrow pools, and we're talking about adding a 5th, which would be the overtime bonuses, which means we just need to update the multiplier. Okay, so this still needs to be done. It says responsibility and has not been completed. All right. So the question is, how much money do we have available in all of these escrow accounts? The last time we did reimbursements, we had 100% reimbursements. So that was really, really good. I believe the last time we did capital payouts, we did 100% of capital payouts that were requested. So that's also really good. Health benefits, we did. Do you remember if we did 100%? 80 to 100%? I don't remember exactly for the health benefits, but and we've never done half-year bonuses, so I don't know how much is available in the half-year bonuses yet. So, do you have the link or not?
I'm still getting J. The machine is loading slowly.
Okay, so for topic 2, does everybody want to go on to do the token certification as the next topic?
Yes.
What do people want to do for the next topic, for topic 2?
We like to certify the token for that month so that even everybody can get their token. Because it's already voted on.
Yes, let's certify, and then next we go to the FKM budget. I think that's why we are here.
Yeah.
Okay, so then topic 3 would be FQN budget. FQN budget. So this is topic 3. So for the FQN budget, we mainly want to just do a review, and I guess we need to discuss UMCUS. So FQN budget and UMCUS discussion, right?
Okay.
Review and discuss. All right, policies. Sorry, we'll discuss policies. Okay, so back to topic 1. Did you find the link? If you can't find the link, you can ask for help, Lucy.
Yeah, anyone can get it. Just like my machine is
Let me find topic
Do
2.
you need us to find it for you, Lucy?
I'll just find it.
But why haven't you found it yet?
The internet is loading very slow. It's not my fault. Anyway, you can get it.
We can try to help you.
Yeah, okay, kindly do it.
Do you remember what you called it?
Yeah, I remember.
What was the title of the document or the spreadsheet?
It's called Hopes.
Health benefits?
Yeah.
Let me try benefit.
I'll try to search.
I see the allotment link.
Not alone, no.
So this is exactly why I asked you guys to get this all figured out beforehand, but you guys weren't able to do it, which is unfortunate. Oh, here we go. I think this might be it right here. Here is my reimbursement receipt. No, this is the receipt. Oh, here we go. Link to internal benefits pool.
I found it. I think you found it.
I got it here. Okay, I think I got it.
It's only for one team. The rest of the team, nothing is there.
Well, we want.
We
Well,
should
that's what needs to be updated. We need to update the calculated links so that we can do it. So
yeah bring the calculated link.
wait, grand total. So we have grand total reimbursements. So it says there's $70 was used and $111 is left. I don't know if this is updated. So we need to put like date updated. So I don't know if this is
Which
updated or
one?
not since we did um, the last one. So half year bonuses, we have almost $200 for half year bonuses. So that's definitely money that's available. So let's put that down in our notes. So for half year bonuses, we have $200 almost.
No, just go here. Okay.
Internal
Let me
benefits
update the
pool.
whole team and see what the other team are, bro. That is why I was like, I don't talk bad thing. Put it
Okay,
down
so
in
it says for the back pay, it says they're all the same. We can verify if that's correct. So yeah, they're all 4%. So all of these amounts are the same. So what we have for the capital payouts is $179. We paid out 110 already. So that leaves us
Can we update the whole team so we can see the final? That the only money for only one team.
yeah, so we can
And
update it. We can update it so that we can see the
the
total for
amount for
everything.
when Miguel was there. WCT, nothing is there.
So
The only amount is
there's
like,
$69 available for capital payouts. So that's a
where
really
is
good
it?
sign. There's at
Where?
least it's somewhere between probably around as much as $100 available.
For which man? We need to
What?
verify. We need to verify for which man.
I just looking at the grand total here. It says there's $179 available.
No, I just want all the payroll to be updated.
All of us want all of the payrolls to be updated. That's the work that needs to be done. But what we know already is that based on the work that was already done, there's almost $100 of capital payouts available, which means that if Sandra is asking for $100, then that is doable in relationship to the amount of value that is currently in the account. Okay? So we can do the half year bonuses. No one's requesting health benefits, but we can do the capital payouts.
For me, I'm not going to support that because when you remember when Mamun was asking for the same for back pay, it was not allowed. I asked for back pay, literally crying, so that you can deduct the amount I worked for that. You did. I was given the only opportunity to work until I get the token. I did. I worked until I get the only token. I'm not biased. I'm not bad. I worked until I get the token. I was denied to get the back pay. Then that is why I prefer that back pay should be for our upfront budget, upfront bonus. It should not
Jay.
go. Yes.
So Lucy, I think you're just mistaken. Like you received $40 of back pay. Mamoon got $40 of back pay. Abubakar got $30 of back pay.
Was that a mistake receiving? What is that
No.
money coming? Who is working?
We're not saying it's a mistake or not. We're just saying it's a fact. It's a fact that you were paid that money. So let's just move on.
Okay,
Martins, can you
let
please
me work
communicate?
for people
Martins, let's go on to
The money
Martins.
that is there is me working for this.
Lucy, just
And
calm down.
denied
No one is
to
saying
get
that you didn't
but
do work. I don't even know what you're talking about.
You remember when Miguel even was saying, Lucy, I wish I got something to tell you.
Wow.
Lucy, calm down.
Calm down. Like, really, no one is attacking you at all. We're just trying to help Sandra. This has nothing to do with you, Lucy.
Calm down.
I work for that money.
Lucy, I'm going to mute you. I'm muting Lucy because it's Martine's turn to communicate. Martine's, please go.
No one can. No one. You don't have to.
Lucy, can you please let Martine speak?
Unless you have to give us a bonus after.
I think you have to mute her if she's not going to listen to us. For God's sake, I don't see any reason why this thing should generate unnecessary issues.
Anyway, it's not necessary. For you, it's necessary. You do the work you need to.
Continue, Martine.
Listen, Martin. We have the bonus upfront. That is there. Always we need to get. But when we are signed back when it was crumbled down, we signed the rules whereby there is no back pay, there is no this. There was an issue, a request. I rework because I don't want to that because I know there was no back pay. I can get for you the proposal. I'll
But
rework.
are we talking of back pay here? Why
Yes,
why
please allow me to explain myself.
no,
Allow
Jay,
me to
I don't know why this session was scheduled. This is what I don't hate and that from FKN. This is not why we had this main
This is
session.
why I would like to talk. I should also give an opportunity. It
No,
is the
I
money
don't
that
know.
someone work.
Jay,
Whatever is supposed
Like
to be
I
calculated.
feel like we are breaking
It is not
major
like it
policies
is
here,
so.
Lucy. Like
That money that
I would
it's
propose
a
that.
different issue. Anyway, you guys do what you want because if someone do the work and you take it for granted, it's okay. It's not. You cannot come and say this is it. I have to explain what is that. We have bonus upfront. I thought the money that we brought is for bonus upfront. If
So
it is bad, you all feel bad. It is well, guys. Continue doing it.
Jay, please, can you calculate my tokens, please?
that is what we are talking about.
Can you calculate? I don't know why Lucy is always bitter when someone wants to collect money. Lucy, why do you like to behave like that? I don't know. I don't just want to talk beyond. Please, Jay, can you go ahead and calculate my tokens? I'm not asking for back pay yet. Neither am I telling Jay to give me your money that you worked for. What's all this argument all about? Is this please? I already said I want option. I want option 2. Check is what I said. Is my token right? Why is she paying? Anytime somebody wants to collect money, why is she paying?
okay, so Sandra, under our policies, you proposed to get the capital payout, so you would need to revoke your proposal. Otherwise, we are required to vote on it. It's very simple.
Let me revoke it so I can.
You guys are even setting confusion inside here.
Okay, so
and
Sandra,
you guys have settled all this confusion in SFC, but there is no change. The same scenario over and over. We are talking on. I don't know which proposal you made, but looking at the screen, the note here, I don't know where the proposal came from. From the screen, you have given a lot of options. And Sandra said she's going for option 2, and I asked you, is it the same thing you did for us? You said yes. So where is back pay or
I don't know. I don't know why the lady is always bitter. Anytime someone wants to collect, I said option 2.
All that noise is disturbing me. Let's focus and save others time. I have other things to do. Let's go for option 2, which she said. I don't know. I've not seen any proposal. What proposal are you talking about?
well, let me get this in.
Then you can wait on Thursday and argue it. Let's focus on what what I'm here for. Man.
Okay, so let's get. I would say the first thing we need to do is have clarity on exactly who is the facilitator and make sure that we follow our policies, because if somebody is not communicating properly and not addressing the facilitator, then they need to be removed from the session. Okay, so who wants to facilitate, or do you guys want to appoint me as a facilitator? Because somebody needs to be in charge here because it's out of control.
Let me facilitate.
Okay, so Ate is going to be the facilitator. I can help back up Ate. And let's just all listen to Ate. So Ate, just to get us on, are there any objections to Ate facilitating?
No objection.
Okay, so let me get the proposal that was sent. And then right here, this is the current proposal, but my understanding is that Sandra is revoking this proposal. Is that correct, Sandra?
Yes, that is correct, Jay.
Okay, so this proposal right here to approve urgent advance payment or prepayment or loan of $100 is now being removed. Okay, so we no longer have to vote on that. So we're going to focus on option number 2, and we're going to go ahead and go to topic 2. So I'll turn it over to Ate.
Okay, Jay, so we are focusing on option 2, or should we go to topic 2?
Well, topic 2 is option 2.
Okay, let's go to option 2 then.
So let's make sure there's no objections to topic 2 and 3.
Okay.
No.
No objection.
Option topic 2 is to certify the vote. Can you someone please link it? I don't have it. Link the result or the result so that's certified.
So we have
Who's
the.
doing that, please?
So who's responsible for the bonus tokens payroll?
Is it bonus token or equity? Which one?
This is the bonus token payroll for the 98-degree leap era. So this is two
I don't have it.
years, and we're looking for the
what was linked
certification.
the editable form, please. We want with the spreadsheet.
So Lucy, I think you're on mute. Maybe you can
What was
communicate.
linked on topic 2?
Topic 2. This is the voting form.
Jay, no, this is the editable form, Jay.
Oh, how much longer?
No.
Right now. All right, so Lucy, if you can, I gotta get going for a little bit. I'll be back in like 10, 15 minutes. But Lucy, if you can get this all together, we just need the certification for the voting on the bonus token payroll. Remember, Lucy?
We need a.
Can someone send a message to Lucy? She doesn't seem to be communicating. If Lucy is not going to communicate, then we're going to need to go on to something else, or someone needs to find the link, because I need to get going. I'll be right back in like 10 minutes. I just need to go do a quick errand. I'll stay on here.
So all of you, Sandra, Martins, only Lucy was working on that spreadsheet.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Okay, Lucy is here. Let her help us with it. I think we even need to take a break.
Okay.
Lucy, are you helping us with the
Sorry,
spreadsheet?
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Okay, thank you.
before we go to the break, what do you want to do?
Let's take a 5-minute break. Let's take a 5-minute break, please.
Okay.
Are you guys taking a break?
Yes. As I'm getting the proposal.
We're on break.
I think I have the link.
Hello?
Uh,
I'm back.
I'm back too. So I linked the 98 this thing. I don't know if you see it, Ade. I've linked it.
Okay,
I found it
let me check.
on line 9. I think it's what
Okay.
you're looking for. I found it of our note.
No, this is not what they're looking for. We want the spreadsheet where the votes,
I just linked the results.
where they voted, where the result of the vote went to.
I linked the result. I think.
No, I've not seen it, Lucy. Where did you link?
I linked the result on
Which tab?
on 57.
Ah, okay. I thought it's the one that Jay linked before.
Then now to certify it online.
No, online
57. Then online 72 to certify the results that have been voted on.
on our notes, except let me refresh. Maybe I'm not in the same notes.
Or I put in a wrong place.
No, but the same thing.
No, yes, I put it on the
Yeah,
wrong
maybe.
place. Yeah, sure.
That's topic 2.
Oh yeah, let me copy.
Yeah, because I've tried this now.
Okay, let me copy it to the right place.
You can just link on line 11. Yes, thank you, Day.
So this is the result. Then now on line 26 is to certify. Vote and to certify then amount for every person for tokens.
Okay, so let's. I think here it should be details for everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, the names are already much.
I think the name is alphabetically.
Okay, so we have the proposal passed with a 7.1. So our proposal is to certify additional 1,249,540 FQN bonus tokens to be issued for the 98 leap era. So we have the details below. Any question concerning this proposal?
I don't have question.
Okay, no. Any concern?
Yes.
Okay, so what's your concern?
The main concern is with Alex. He voted, I believe, a 4. So the question would be what the issue is. So I feel like with Alex, he is not responding as far as I know. Because I did try to ask and figure out what was going on, but I don't think we got any response. So as long as everyone's fine with that, that's the only concern I have.
Okay, so that was a question, not a concern, right? Like, why did Alex vote for?
No, it is a concern because I would like to
And
have consensus on this. The only other person who abstained was Martins, but it's still a six. So we can see if Martins has any other things he wants to mention. But I think overall for Alex, it's definitely concerning. Check.
Okay.
I think we can just link the
can I talk now?
proposal for the certification. I don't think we need to put
Sorry.
the entire
My I just
proposal in.
can I pass my concern out to everyone regarding this proposal? My concern is just that I see 0 0 in some places, and those that I know that they pay 0 in terms of the token value, I also happens to be part of them. And most of them are people with SL. Is this token for only FQN people? Or how come there is 0 0 allocated to them?
Do you want me to answer that or what? Does anyone else want to answer, or do you want me to answer it, or what?
You can answer.
Okay. Okay. Let me give it a try. I think you have a zero or others that you see they're having zeros. This is because they were not involved in the 98 leap year. You were not a worker by then. So automatically you accumulated no bonus. Okay. So I think Jay, after 98, what do we have? Like the one now that
It
Martin
starts
said.
in December 31st. So January 1st will be the next leap year. It's the 157. So we're still currently in the 98-degree leap era, but we haven't issued any FQN tokens since FQN fell apart. So all the other tokens, the SFC tokens, were issued as SFC tokens. So
I'm sorry, I've
So,
asked this question before.
but Martins is supposed to get some tokens, like because
yeah,
Martins was involved back then. Remember, Lucy? Did that get updated or not? I think we updated for Ben, but not Martins. There was a few hours for Martins that should be getting updated,
Let
but it
me
was just
check
recruitment.
my.
That was what I was about to say because I know at a point in time
Do you remember how much time that you spent?
I was trying to check for Martin. I did not get it. Then you said we can give Martin 2 hours because it's like for other people that are.
Okay, but do we have that updated for Martins, the 2 hours, or not? Because this is exactly
Yeah.
why this
I
is.
think we update on proposal. Let's check. Just a minute.
It says 50. It says right here 50. Martins is 50.
Yeah, it is there, Martin, on proposal.
So why here does it say 0? So this is not the correct number. Either way, yeah, I don't
No,
care.
we update this day. It was just calculation, random calculation, because we feel like he was putting in some hours.
No, it wasn't a random calculation. It was the correct calculation that we had done.
Yes.
Yeah. So for Martins, you were 50, but sir, some people they're still 0. So Nicholas, for example, did not do any work. Rimshi Romeo.
Sorry, before we go further on
Yeah.
this discussion, sorry for.
Yeah, Martin has 50. Yes, he has 50.
Yeah, you said you allotted 2 hours for me in terms of the calculation. Well, as far as I can recollect, those times that we were communicating on Upwork, and it took like 2 good weeks. And there were times that I was also going through the website trying to study the organization's policy.
Okay. Well, how many hours did you spend?
so where did you track the hours?
That time I was still on Upwork. I was
No,
yet
but
to be
you
transferred to
That is
this
why I did
team.
not get
so you never had a pop or anything.
Correct.
I had a pop. I sent it to Jay that time. I can check
So
my.
you were everything. If you're not having a tracking sheet from the first they started communicating, you track your hours on your pop. If they go on your pop, they don't see any hours. They consider that you have not worked anything. So they
But
cannot do magic to know how many hours you did if you don't track it on your pop.
Well, I wouldn't know how to. address that anyway because I know then I I I I did my pop. I sent it to Jay because he sent the format to me on Hopwork. I sent it back to him. I was already hired, but along the line, one or two things, something came up. I said I will not be working again. Then I backed out.
Yeah.
So
the question is how many hours?
Conversation.
Yeah, so the fact that happened over 2 weeks is irrelevant. The question is how many hours, because a person can spend, 100 hours in 2 weeks. They can also spend 2 hours in 2 weeks. So you need to be clear on the number of hours that you worked so we can calculate it. Because we estimated 2 hours.
4 hours.
4 hours. Okay.
4 hours.
So yes. I would just say that we double it and say 100 instead of 50.
50.
Okay, 100.
So we just make it 100. So we can just note in the details of this proposal that we are changing Martine's from 50 to 100 tokens. Okay, so I put it in the proposal for certification. And then if we can link the calculations, that would be good.
So is that fall under TTML or OTPZ?
He's getting that's gonna be OPZV because he was not in the budget. You can only get T2ML if you're in the budget, so it'd be OPZV.
Okay.
Yeah.
OPZV.
Or ZOPZV. Yeah. So I put that on line 78 and it's also on line 120.
Okay, let me update it on the spreadsheet as well.
Okay, and can you link the calculation spreadsheet on 122, line 122?
Okay. I see the link there. Is it the same? Oh yes, yeah, that's it. Let me update his OPZ.
So for everybody else who's at 0 tokens, the main reason that we don't need to be too concerned about it is because they weren't very involved. And then also on line 49, we have the community equity. So we have over 200,000 tokens reserved for community equity, and that value can be issued to people who had contributions that we did not issue to. So the community equity is still exists, and so we're going to be fine, even if people need tokens. Okay? So any other concerns?
None.
All right.
I think we should vote.
Let's vote. So, teens. So there's 5 of us here. So let's go around a bit. I will vote a 8. I'm an 8 as well.
I'll vote 7.
Okay,
I vote 9.
Lucy.
I'll vote 8. Oh, I still also have to know where are we going to get the other token, J, like back pay, the previous back pay. Like I still have 4,000 back pay.
Yeah, so there's at least 2 additional leap eras that go back, at more than 5 years. So what that looks like is there's the 15-degree east era, and then there's the 112 or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But anyways, those will be separate processes that is done similar to what we did with this. So this is extremely exciting because this is the first time that we've actually completed an entire leap era. I mean, it's not technically over until the end of December. But this is the very first time that we have tokens, that we have completed a leap era, and this is all big time. So it's very exciting that we are doing this, and that now that we've issued all of the tokens for an entire 2 years, we can now burn, we're going to be burning all of the extra tokens, and it's going to make all of our tokens much more valuable because there's going to be, exponentially less tokens available. So it's very exciting. And then if we get all the tokens profiles set up and we actually organize the tokens, they will be worth value. So it's just a matter of doing the work. Coolio. All right. So Lucy, the answer to your question
which
is
channel do we link this, or are you guys linking it on SF?
this goes in FQN and this goes into the decisions channel.
Okay, FQN is which channel?
Yeah. So, but overall, this is really good. So Lucy, it's just a matter of doing the same work that we just did for the 98 degree, and we go back again to the 15 degree, and we do the entire 15 degree, reviewing each payroll, doing the bonus tokens, and then we issue all of the tokens at once with a new proposal. Okay. And as far as I know, Ate, I don't remember whether, I can't remember whether Joyce, but I know Ate is going to get more tokens from the previous. But these are the only T2ML tokens. So these 98 degree leap era tokens will never be issued again, except for this last month of the leap era. And then these tokens will be fixed. Like we'll never create more tokens. So all the tokens are created from the work hours and the contributions, and then that is how we mint the tokens, and then they're gone. So from there, the number of tokens will always be going down, and the value will always go up. Okay, so I think that we're done with this topic. Any other questions, Lucy or anyone else?
So should I still keep on working so that I get my tokens?
Yes, but it would be considered internal operations because this particular client work was for the legal action issues and not necessarily the actual.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like internal. I have no problem.
No, I'm not getting you guys.
Just
what do you mean by
working on all of the past payrolls is considered internal operations work. That's all we were saying.
okay?
Yeah.
Because I'm asking because I heard Lucy say should she continue working so that she could have more tokens.
Yes,
So I was confused.
you will get more tokens as well, Ate, but you're not going to be getting T2ML tokens. You're going to be getting tokens from the 15 degree leap era instead of the 98 degree leap era, which is a completely separate set of tokens. So every 2.5 years, we get a whole new set of tokens that we issue, and then the previous tokens are maxed out. Like we never mint those tokens ever again. Okay. And so the same thing is true when we go past.
Value. So the tokens that you're talking about, is it for example, is it the same value like the ones, or the value is higher?
The value is going to be lower because there was less value. Like we have at this time, the 98 degree leap era tokens are the most valuable because this is when we actually did the work to create the tokens and actually build this. A lot of that value comes from Alberto's contributions, but it also comes from everybody else. So if you go backwards 5, 6, 7 years, there is another leap era where we did not have tokens that is of similar value, where it was extremely valuable because of it was the beginning of Bitcoin was like $1,000. So there is another leap era where there will be some particularly valuable tokens, but in between, very little got done. Not much work happened. We didn't actually put value into the tokens. But that doesn't mean they won't be valuable in the future. We just don't know what the value is, and the value will start very low, and then over time it'll be worked up. So the T2ML token has been building value and building functionality along with the SFC tokens for over 2 years now. And all of the eras before that, there's nothing. So we have to start basically from scratch. Okay?
So Jay, I would like to ask,
yeah,
who determines the value of those tokens? You?
It's a little bit more complicated than that, but basically the tokens are valued based on the type of contribution. So the types of contribution we have are loans. So when someone takes out a personal loan to the organization, that is the most valuable token, and that token value is considered, that's the, that's the 2F6M token. So the 2F6M token should have like a minimum value of 25 cents. That would be the starting value for that token. And so if it's under that, it's because people sold it or whatever, and we need to increase the value again. The next most valuable token is the work value. With SFC, we have new tokens. We have output and setup value instead of just the work value. So it actually creates even more because output is so much more valuable than just work time. So for this is the second most valuable token, and this is the T2ML. And this one we have a base value of 10 cents is the goal, but obviously it goes down in relationship to all of the legal action, people selling it and everything. So from here you have the individual jurisdiction token, which is the individual jurisdiction is OPZV. And OPZV is 1 cent, 0.01, and that is OPZV. And then you have the family jurisdiction. Family jurisdiction is B2Q5. And then you have the global jurisdiction, which is the least valuable, right? So family jurisdiction is worth 1/10 of a penny. And then global jurisdiction is worth 1/100th of a penny, right? So there's just so many more, and the goal is to get all of the tokens to be worth $1. But if all of the global jurisdiction tokens are worth $1, that gets close to where we were talking about, like whether you're talking about the legal action, that we would all have $1 million, right? And that's our goal. If all these tokens for the last 2 years was $1 million of value, all of the tokens will be worth $1. But it's going to take time to be able to build that value. And in our new model, there's a certain percentage every month that goes to the token value. So as long as we're doing client work income, the token value will go up, right? So the client pays value into the tokens, so the token value always is going up. Does that make sense? But the starting value is very, very low, but the highest starting value is for the loan token. The next is the work token. Then the individual jurisdiction is the 1 cent, 1 penny, right? And then it just goes down from there to being almost worthless. So family jurisdiction, global jurisdiction are currently basically worth almost nothing. But if you have tens of thousands of them, they do add up, you know? And so the most important thing that gives the tokens value, so there's two things that give the tokens value. Well, there's many things that give tokens value. But the two most important things is the starting value, so that's the starting value. And then the second thing is the work. The work is the profiles, the public interaction, the communications, and fundraising, and basically just having people know about the tokens will slowly build value over time. Does that sort of make sense?
Yes, Jay.
Yeah. So right now the least amount of work has happened for the family jurisdiction and global jurisdiction tokens. So those ones are worth the least. But over time we can do more work, and so like if you sell your tokens immediately, they're not going to be worth as much value as if we did the work first, built up the value, built up the public framework, got the functionality of the tokens set up so that they're actually functional. And I would say there's probably like 10 factors involved in token functionality that is work that needs to be done. From there, the other value comes into incentives, right? So this is like public external value, which relates to incentives, and from there, just like actual outreach and getting people to invest in get our tokens, get the public to get tokens. So that's a lot harder, and that's when you get the public involved in getting your tokens. That we're not talking about the token value going up. We're talking about the token value going up exponentially. Right? So that's where you can get rich. But even without the public getting involved in the tokens, our token model allows the tokens to build value and increase in value over time, even without massive public buy-in. But if the public did get involved, instead of just the token value going up, the token value potentially could go up exponentially and we could all get rich. But of course, that is a separate thing. I mean, we just don't know whether or if that will ever even happen, which is why all of our value as owners is at risk. Okay? So that's why we pay upfront pay. Everybody needs to get their upfront pay first and foremost because we all have bills. We all have to pay bills and take care of our families. But then from there, the ownership of the co-op, the goal is if we're successful, there's a lot more value that we could get, but unfortunately we just don't do the work. And so the value of the tokens is represented in our inability to get the work done. So if we got all the work done, our tokens would be much more valuable.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you. I think
let's go on to topic 3. Any other questions or anything on the tokens? Otherwise, we just need a schedule to run this token payroll because it's been certified and it's ready to go.
I have questions.
Sandra.
So they have to run it they have to run it before the sale starts on, right?
Correct, but we can prioritize Sandra and Ate and Joyce, to make sure that those are all dealt with first and foremost, So we can certainly prioritize the people who need the value immediately.
Yes, I need to sell mine.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's possible for you to train somebody to sell his values his all alone. That's what I was asking. That the value of the tokens, you are the one determining them, right?
I mean, we can pull up the tokens. Like, so if you go to Dex tools, right? The value of the token, there's many things that are integrated. So the most valuable token we have is the PB64 as far as like liquidity. So the PB64 is our SFC token that represents the value of the T2ML. Whoops, I did the wrong one. This is a Dex. Also, Sandra had a question too. So if you go to PB64, all of the value within the tokens is all in the liquidity, right? So if you look at the liquidity, wait here, let me share my screen so you can see this.
Yes, please share your screen.
Okay. So I'm going to dextools.io. This has all the tokens. So PB64. So if you go to PB64, this is all the liquidity. What? Can you see the screen?
It's down. I'm not seeing it very well.
You can't see the screen?
No, it's greenish. I don't know if it's only from my side.
No, I can't see.
The screen is showing, but mine is green.
Green? Huh.
Can you see it, Sandra?
Oh, it's very tiny. It's dark.
If you can make it bigger a little bit or zoom in, but it's okay. We can see some figures.
Let me switch to over here and see if it helps. So if I go dextools.com and then get this out of here. All right.
That's the liquidity value.
Please let me just refresh.
Here, I'm gonna go to this other screen and see if it helps. Okay, is this screen better?
We are here to see what to explain.
Is that?
good.
Yeah, better. Good.
Okay, so this is the PB64 token, and you can see the liquidity. And so the liquidity represents the primary value of the token, which means that this is the amount of value that's in the token after it is sold, right? So if it's the value of the token is sort of irrelevant if you don't have liquidity, right? And then from there you want the volume to be as high as possible. So here you can see you can have like $1,000, $2,000. So we have about 2,000 there, and then you have another 3,000. So about $5,000 of value is in the PB64 token. This value came from SFC. No, this value came from Social Value Group, the SVG, as well as the the FQV network, and the value that we've had put aside for the legal action, right? So all the value comes from places that have all been approved and are part of the value. So if you actually look at the value of the token itself, you can see over time that the value of the token changes. The primary change of value of the token comes from people selling their tokens. Okay, so let's go to the 2-month view. So this is the overall change in value of the token. I typically look at the value as a percentage. So let's verify that this is a percentage here. Yeah, it's under percentage. So basically what you see here is you can see that the value was around even. So this was the even value, which is probably around 10 cents. Then someone sold a lot of tokens here, and the value crashed down 40%. And then the value went up when we did the work to increase and stabilize the value in relationship to the legal action, right? So then the value kind of changes and goes down with the ups and downs of the value of Ethereum and Bitcoin. And then this value right here is a Tay, and this value right here is Joyce. So when a Tay sold their tokens and a Joyce sold their tokens, the value dropped from 50 to 20, so it went down 30%. No, even possibly more, possibly 50%. And then you can see this entire climb of the value right here. All of this is basically after Trump was elected and the rise of Bitcoin. It increased by 25%. So the value of the token increased by 25% because Bitcoin went up in value. Does that make sense? So all the tokens within cryptocurrency go up when Bitcoin goes up. So this 25% value increase is because of Bitcoin right here. Okay? So it just depends.
So
It depends on the value of the market.
So the moment Bitcoin value increases, it affects this one equally.
Absolutely, yes, because our value is in Ethereum and in Bitcoin.
So this is is it whose value is this? Is this J's value or is this FKN value? So this is a value that's not been
this is SFC. This is SFC value. And if you want to look at FQN value, you would go to the T2ML version. So the T2ML, so you can see that with PB64 is currently worth around 9 cents. And if you go to T2ML is worth.
Why my screen is showing.
T2ML is worth significantly less. T2ML is only worth about 1 or 2 cents. So it's about 1/6 of the value, which is what we would expect is that T2ML would be worth 1/6 of the value of the SFC token. But that could change if FQN gets back functional and FQN starts doing work. The value of T2ML could go up.
Okay, so FQN is going to maintain all its token.
Correct. So FQN has separate token value from SFC. The values are totally separate. The tokens are totally separate. Yeah. But this is not a good. Yeah, T2ML got kind of messed up. We made some mistakes with.
Okay, let's proceed.
Okay, so ready to go on the next topic? Or any other questions? Sandra, did you get your question answered?
Yes.
You did.
You said we sent our tokens soon, right?
But there's also there's a lot more work that's happened on the SFC tokens, and so they're a lot more functional than the FQN tokens. They're still not particularly functional. They need a lot of work. All right, so we're ready to go on to the next topic.
So the next thing to do is just to schedule and run this payroll, right?
That would be the next step for the payroll, but the next topic is the FQN budget.
Yes, I know. Let me put it.
This is going to be the biggest payroll we've ever run. So obviously we're going to need to do accounting on it, but we can run it in stages. So for example, we can do Sandra first. I think someone's creating it. I don't know.
I'm the one creating the 22. I don't know if somebody's creating it.
What was the topic? FPM budget. Is anyone creating? I want to go ahead to do that.
I did already.
I'm creating a tab. Topic.
I ticked already.
Oh.
Am I on mute?
No problem.
No, we can hear you.
Sorry, I didn't hear that clearly. But it's okay.
Okay.
in September. Just to help.
Okay, let me link the budget.
All right, topic 3. Okay, so for the FQN budget, we have a couple things going on here. We want to obviously link the draft budget, which it looks like you already did. We want to discuss UMCUS discussion, right? So we have the UMCUS discussion for the loan. And then we have, or actually it's not a loan, it is a credit for credit because the loan comes after payroll.
Which loan is that?
So for the it's the credit for the budget. So then we need to discuss the policies. So there's 2 policies that I wanted to go over. So we have we have 3 parts. There's existing policies. There is the new recruitment and budget or POP change policy, and then we have the legal responsibility requirements policy. So I think for now that's all we really want to cover. But we can start by taking a look at the budget. The budget itself has the decision makers. So I would just put HR board here. HR board. I can't actually change this, can I? Or can I?
I already put HR board.
Yeah, so now we just need to add it up. So it's 10%.
So it was 10%.
Why didn't that work? Whoops. So it's $60 total, and then there's that. Okay, cool. All right, so the total budget, so we have inner reimbursements, we have no overtime bonuses, time buffer. It would be good to put a time buffer in. And then we need to verify the allotment. Can someone link the, we need to verify the date. What is the date that we want the budget to start? December 1st, is that fine to start December 1st? Because that's much easier.
Okay.
So this would be the new moon. And that's when all the other new recruits are going to start. And then from there, the allotment. Can someone link the allotment? Lucy?
Okay.
So,
why is it that overtime bonus is 0?
Because it just hasn't been updated. So let's just make all of this yellow. So this is going to be capital payouts. Back pay in parentheses, back pay. So I don't think we need anything for others, so that can be green. Internet reimbursements, fees and reimbursements, non-internet, electricity reimbursements, back pay, token loans. I mean, I think that's the same thing as capital payouts. What's the difference? Back pay advance benefits into upfront pay. Back pay worker token loans. Back pay worker token loans. I don't know what the difference is. Okay.
Allotment, I just make it on line 20.
Allotment. Okay, good. So the allotment, if we go into the allotment, is this the current allotment for
Yes.
12 degree? Okay, so I don't know what next month is. Do you know the moon month date, the time? So for now, I would say we can get rid of most of the legal action. We still need to deal with Alex, and we need to deal with Eileen. But I think we've dealt with most of it. So as far as FQN legal team, oh no, that's FQN legal. So the FQN team would be added. So we would add a new line for FQN team. FQN team.
It is up there on
Okay.
line 27.
27.
Or that's
Oh, FQN is up here. Yeah. Let's just.
Yeah, it was there 20. It was $0 before.
Yeah. So basically, we're looking at $400. Is what I when I look at the budget, I see $400. So it's probably going to be more like $450 based on the $15 hours of time budget. So if we do 450, 500. I mean, anyway, so we need to get this allotment agreed upon and approved in relationship to the total amount that will be budgeted for FQN, but it's probably going to be somewhere between $400 to $500 at the most, because it's going to be tough with all of the additional recruitment. But we do have $1,000 of recruitment.
What does that mean?
Budget.
What does this?
What?
Jay, I don't understand when you keep on saying additional recruitment. FPL has not launched a recruitment yet. That's SFC.
Correct. That's all in
There's no recruitment
SFC.
in
Yes.
FPL for now.
Yeah, but the money in the allotment is all coming from the same place, from the co-ops, right? So the co-op allotment for FQN is the discussion right now. How much money are we allotting for your team to have in order to get functional? So for example, if Joyce was going to be working with you, or someone else was going to be working with you, the amount of money in the allotment would need to be higher. But if it's just you, potentially $400, $500 would be enough. Does that make sense?
Okay, so the $400 will be for payroll, reimbursement, bonuses, everything.
Yeah, and that's what we're calculating right now. So for example, the time buffer, I would say you'd want at least like a $50 time buffer. Overtime bonuses, I don't know. I mean, you'll be working mainly on your own, so you could be able to be working during, but you'll be doing some check-ins during Andromeda, so maybe $30, $50, $40, I just don't know. It's up to you to figure it out. And internet reimbursements, how much internet reimbursement do you have your internet reimbursement or what? Ate? Do you have internet reimbursement?
My internet reimbursement is $45. Are you getting it?
Okay, so let's leave it at 50, and then there's no other reimbursements?
My internet reimbursement is $45.
Okay, but there's no other reimbursements?
No. For now, I will not go for others. Okay. No, for now, I'll just keep on the internet. No stress.
All right, so then you probably end up with like a little bit going into capital payouts, but that is just like part of our monthly thing. So anyways, I would say, somewhere around $500 would be ideal if we can fit it into the budget. So it just depends on what can be fit into the budget for the allotment. Okay, so right now your budget is between $450 to $500 for the month. All right.
I think Jay, you need to be specific, like the way you write for everybody. Every team, not like from 400. If it is 500, 500. If it is 4, you cannot say from 4 to this.
Well, yeah, I wrote 500, but the point is that it doesn't matter what I write down. All that matters is what we agree to. And right now we're not discussing the allotment. We are just making sure it fits into the allotment, understanding the allotment. But for now, we are discussing the budget and the UMCUS. Okay?
Are we bringing UMCUS back again? Or it is a different thing from other policy? Maybe I don't know.
UMCUS is approved, has to be approved every month for the budget. Has to be approved with the UMCUS credit, unless the team has their own money, right? So this $500 budget has to be credited because there isn't $500 in FQN to cover the budget, right? Does that make sense? So the credit is the UMCUS discussion, which is relationship to the client, which is what the umbrella client, right? The umbrella customer, right? UMCUS. Okay?
Okay.
So let's just, this should be a pretty quick UMCUS discussion because it really only involves Ate and myself, does anyone else want to join FQV or FQN? So let's just let's just start the UMCUS discussion real quick, and then we can go over some of the policies, and some of the policies address SFC as well. But let's start. Ate, do you have any initial questions on anything, or do you want to? You can start if you want. Otherwise, I'll go.
For the
UMCUS, yes, UMCUS.
Just go ahead, Jay.
Okay, so first thing I would say is that we need to get the previous UMCUS proposal to verify everything. So that would be just a task. And we just want to verify the overall status of where we were before, just to get everything.
Is it the previous cost proposal for
Yes, exactly. And so the reason why I think this is going to go pretty quickly is because we did approve a FQN budget for the 136 degree. Do you remember, Lucy, which moon month that was? So there was an FQN budget that was approved at the very end of the final payment agreement.
I think that was May, June.
May, June. That sounds about right. So that budget was approved and means that we got through most of the UMCUS issues. So I'm not actually seeing that there's going to be any major problems with the budget itself as far as UMCUS, right? But we should verify everything. So from there, once we get that all cleared up, the budget itself is very easy to move forward with, and so from there the only question is updating the client expectations and the potential income for FQN team. And then we have the existing policies that we want to make sure we're clear on, and then see if we want to implement any of these new policies. So before we go into the policies, let's see if there's any questions. And the only other thing that I want to make sure is clear is in the new model, we have currently 3 SFC teams plus FQN team. There's going to be 4 teams, okay? 4 teams that exist simultaneously.
So we have SFP, FQM, which other teams?
They're right here. So you can see the teams. The Work Continuity Group Old World is Sandra and Martins. The SFC team is Lucy and Mamoon. The Work Continuity Group New World is no longer applicable. It's just the Work Continuity Group Global team, actually. And then we have the Spanish team. So those are the 4 teams. So there's going to be the FQN team, which will be Ate. There's the Work Continuity Group team with Martins and Sandra. SFC team is Lucy and Mamoon. Work Continuity Group team is Maxi. And then my team is the Activity team. So if we actually start paying me, that would actually be a 5th team. And then the HR Board team is its own team as well. Benson, I believe, was removed. So the HR Board is actually a 6th team. So there's technically 6 separate teams that all function independently. Okay, one at a time. Let's start with the tech.
Okay.
Which staff are you seeing all those teams for?
All of this is on our topic 3 FQN budget, lines 27 through 35 in the allotment. So each team is allotted a certain amount of money. Also, with adding this $500 for FQN team, will increase the amount of money in the HR board if you, and actually there's actually going to be a 7th team, because we are actually going to do the Junta, Junta, which is going to be the Spanish HR board. So there will be a separate Spanish HR board that we will be budgeting as well. Okay.
And Jay on HR board, we have not removed Benson yet because I sent a proposal. It was not passed. They vote it now.
Well, can you get the HR board budget, and we can verify that? Because I thought that there wasn't enough money to approve everybody.
I tried to propose.
Right. Anyways, that'll be a separate topic. We can go through that later. Okay, so anyways, does that make sense in terms of the separate teams? So there's 4 work teams, and then there are 3 oversight teams. Okay.
Okay, so there's a team called WCT.
Yes, and we're also creating a new team for the policy team, but that is separate. Anyways, all of the teams are in SFC. And besides the allotment, FQN is not affected by anything related to any of the other teams. but the money itself all comes from the same client, so therefore the allotment is part of FQN's decision making. But other than the allotment, everything else is separate between FQN and SFC. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So any other question on the model and the structure and the teams and everything?
No, it's okay. It's clear. You can leave it there now. Just put it here.
Okay, and
It's clear.
eventually we might be able to even split the allotment up. It just depends on how functional FQN gets over time. So let's see if there's any other questions. Lucy, Martins, Ate, any other questions? Otherwise, we can go on to the policies.
To me, it's clear. It's okay.
No question.
Okay, so we have a lot of existing policies. Obviously, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of policies. We're not going to go over all of them. So let's just go over the most important one, which is the HR board requirement. So there is a requirement for an HR board. My understanding, Ate, is that you want to hire the existing HR board, or you could hire your own HR board, but there does need to be an HR board.
No, let me just use the one for now. I don't want higher. Let's
Cool.
just
So that's
use the one.
10%. That'll be the 10% cost for the current HR board. All right.
No problem.
Cool. All right. So other existing policies we want to verify and acknowledge. There is no pay without client work income. So that was passed and approved before FQN
Yes.
stopped functioning. So there is no pay stops. Any other thing? And if we get the previous UMCUS proposal, we can go verify everything. So do we have that or not? Is there any other existing policies you have questions about, Ate, that are things that we need to review and verify? I would say that we approve. So we could do this as a proposal, but proposal is that we would approve the existing SFC multiplier to keep everything simple and straightforward. And then, but over time, if we want to, FQN could change the multiplier, and then we would sync with the SFC escrow for now. So we just have one single co-op escrow. I think that would be the easiest way to move everything forward as far as the payroll, is that we just have a single escrow, but we can easily separate those if that doesn't approve. Any other questions on previous policies? And it's all the same policies
So,
regarding.
Jay, what's the SQN? You said FQN ESCO. What is it? What the SFC ESCO? What is it about?
These are all the things that we went over in topic 1. So this includes the reimbursements, the half-year bonuses, the health benefits, and the capital payouts. So instead of FQN doing their own reimbursements, half-year bonuses, health benefits, and capital payouts, it'll be easier for you if you just pay SFC the money, and then it's just one set of reimbursements, one set of half-year bonuses, one set of health benefits, and one capital payouts. That it's just all the same thing for now. So even though they're separate co-ops, and you could separate everything.
If I understand you very well, it means FQN will be receiving half-year bonuses the same time with SFC.
Correct. Which is going to be happening in the next month.
So I'm also asking, is it like FQN are going to use the same income for the SFC team?
The FQN team.
FQN income can be more than that of SFC. So FQN is an independent team.
Yeah, so this is not required at all. This would be a new proposal, because in the current policy is that so FQN can function 100% separate from SFC except for the HR board. So at this time, we've approved an HR board that is duplicated between, that's shared. So we have a shared HR board. So what I am proposing now in terms of the easiest way to move forward with everything is to copy the current SFC multiplier and copy the escrow and do one single co-op escrow for reimbursements, half your bonuses, health benefits, and capital payouts. That will simplify everything for everybody significantly. But FQN can do its own multiplier, its own reimbursement, its own half your bonuses, its own health benefits, and its own capital payouts, and do all of the work double. So it's up to you to decide, Ate, and everyone has to approve it. But this would make everything much simpler, and it can be undone at any time. Like FQN can split off from SFC escrow whenever it wants to.
No, Jay, I think it is better when we have escrow different instead of mixing up FQN and SFC. And again, as a
That's
time goes
fine.
by, even the team themselves, they should just function separately. Because you find out maybe that they will have more escrow, but that other team they don't have, they have to use the money of it.
That if Jay is saying that, for example, if FQN income is enough to run their payroll and their bonuses,
Yeah.
and SFC's income is not enough to run their payroll and their bonuses, that will not FQN income will not go to, it will not be mixed.
Okay, so it sounds like there's no agreement for the proposal on line 76, so we're going to keep everything separate, right? Except for the HR board.
Yeah, yes. You know why? That is the reason why before when I was talking, it seemed like I'm quarreling. I'm not. It's the same thing that you need to figure out. Because when you work as a team, the team brought their own income, including escrow, all these things benefit. But you find other teams they don't have. By the end of the day, you use this money. Instead, we can use that money for bonus upfront. We use it for other things. You facilitate to other things. If you can make this thing PJ, make everything have their own escrow, the other team as well. It will be better and if like if they
Okay.
have their own, yes.
Okay, so we can go over that more in the future, but for now everything is separate. Okay, Ate?
Yes, Jay, it should
Okay.
be separate, please.
I certainly would prefer to keep it together because it'll be easier on our side, but whatever. We'll do it separate for now and see how things go. So the next proposal relates to the legal responsibility. So in the old model, we would hire people directly into work sessions, which kind of got disastrous, and then they would do stage 5 was basically just work and team training, right? Like people just do their training and get involved in the team. So in our new model, we have separated. So stage 4 is the budget. Stage 5 is now the legal responsibility, and then stage 6 is when you join the team. So we have a new entire stage between joining the team and getting approved in the budget, and this is called the legal responsibility. The legal responsibility is a process which we review and go over all of the terms in relationship to the legal situation that we are all agreeing to, so that it's very clear, everybody understands and agrees and gets involved in before they are starting their work, right? So the whole idea is to make sure everything is clear to everybody, because one of the biggest problems we were having in before is that people were starting to work and then they would realize the policies and other issues and they didn't like it, and it would cause problems. So in this context, even if whatever the policies are, the idea is that everybody clearly approves the policies, clearly approves the terms of involvement before they even start working instead of after they start working. So I would recommend that FQN does the same, because this would help solve some of the problems from before where people start working before they agree to the terms. Okay, so that would be the...
Yes, Jay, but I have something to say.
Yeah.
This legal responsibility between the budget joining the team, I don't think is a solution to the problem.
Well, it doesn't
Because
solve all the problems, of course. It just solves one problem, which is people
it just solves
starting to work.
not even one, because this part is just covering the FQN or the SFC. Those working in there should be something like somebody after there is a noise.
Sandra, we're gonna. Oh, good. Thanks, Sandra. Keep going, okay.
So after the budget and the legal responsibility, then there should be a testing period. And within that testing period, the person can go like for 2 months. So that if the person, at the end of the day, the person is unable to yield income to the team, the person will not be added, the person will have a separate budget, the person will be added into the budget. That way, because I think this is the real problem FQN had. And we have been covering eye to it, and SFC had crossed with it, and you guys are having the same issues. There is no solution. Because from the 5:20, like almost 1 hour I've been in this session, there's no difference between FKN before and SFC. It's the same thing. You need to solve that problem. Make sure before someone joins the team where they are being paid based on income, they should be sure that the person is willing to put in the effort to bring the income. Because some people will just come and they'll be turning around and others will be killing themselves. At the end of the day, what one person is going to work, everyone is going to enjoy it. And at the end of the day, the person even killing his ass will never have anything. So between the budget and join the team, there should be legal responsibility and there should be a testing period for 2 months. And that person will not be in the budget. The person will be in a separate budget.
Okay.
Because the person will come maybe with a high budget and it's affecting the budget. I'm talking out of experience.
All right.
I have worked in
So-
FQN, yield income. At the end of the day, there's no income to pay me that I'm working. That's why I even just want to stay in FQN alone, and I'm trying my best there alone. If someone like Joyce, I want people that can join FQN, people that can be productive. I don't want people that are just going to be turning around, coming to main sessions and all the rest, and be giving stress. If I'm sacrificing my sleep, I should have
Cool.
something at the end of the day. So if someone like Joyce comes in, yes, that's why I say in FKN we don't want recruitment, random recruitment. We are going to make our own policy. The policy where Jay says every year there's recruitment, we are going to check that policy. We don't want people to just come in and just sit around and join main sessions and join payrolls and all the rest. No, FQN will not be like that. If you are not productive, you will not enter FQN.
Cool.
So try to solve that problem.
Cool. So
if you solve that problem, then you will have less legal issues whatsoever.
So can I respond?
Yes, go ahead.
So first of all, FQN will be able to make whatever policy it wants. So you can implement all of these policies. I don't have anything against it. In terms of the policies that we already have, we do have a 2-week policy that requires people to do a certain amount of work where they automatically get fired. So there are a couple policies in place for the first month. You know, there's like a requirement for the first week, the second week, the third week. You know, up to like 6 weeks, I think. And if workers are not meeting the minimums, then they can be automatically fired. So there is a little bit that exists. Part of what you're saying doesn't exist. Also, the other policy that now exists is that there can be multiple teams. So before we were all stuck in a single team, and it meant that there was very little flexibility because everybody had to follow the same policy. So now, for example, if you and Joyce were the primary FQN team, you could create a new FQN team for the new recruits where they could actually start their own team and the payroll wouldn't affect your payroll because it would be a separate team and it would be allotted separately. So that solves that problem as well. So when we do recruitment, we're not forced to make everybody be on the same team. We now have a much more flexible model. So currently right now, like I just said, we're working on as many as 7, 8 teams. that are all
Yeah,
being
yeah,
set up as
definitely.
separate teams, and so then the payroll of one team doesn't directly affect the payroll of another team. So that actually creates a lot more flexibility. So we can hire new recruits in separate teams. So that definitely helps. But either way, the legal responsibility I still think is helpful because it makes sure everything is in writing and clear before
Yeah,
people
no,
start working.
yeah, it's helpful. But if you have brought up something like that, then I think it solves the problem.
Yeah, the
Like if you
separate
recruit
teams
somebody,
super
we
key.
can make them a different FQN. Until when they are functional, they can join now. It's okay.
Yeah, so you can call your team whatever you want. For now, we're just giving it like we're calling it the FQN team, just because that's where it's coming from, right?
Yeah, let's just keep FQN.
Yeah,
I like
but
FQN.
any additional teams or a team split up, whatever they can have, you can have FQN1, FQN2. You can have separate names for them. All right. So are there any other questions on this particular proposal?
No, there's none.
Okay.
Then there is other thing also on top of that. I think she's very right. There is other thing you have not solved there that
Mhm.
you need to address. Since we are addressing about the budget, is the same thing. This issue of having teams of reimbursement, having a bonuses, health benefit, and capital payout. Because right now I'm look like I'm a lady who like money. It's not like that. I put my effort so that my team has something. But the same money for my team is given to everybody, including the reimbursement. People they don't see that. I do this as a full time. But if you can just vote and just solve an issue of making sure everything they see their own equal things. Reimbursement, have a year bonuses, health benefit, and capital payout. It's supposed to be, and I know the organization will just we will just oversee. If somebody see it is the work of organization to vote together to review the policy for that person who need the payout. It's not that the money that brought by one team is used by everybody, and you have been working the whole night, the whole day. We need to solve these issues. We need to solve these issues. If my team does not have any income for reimbursement, I'm sure I'm not going to get because we have not brought anything for our team. If we don't have bonuses for the year, I don't have that. You should look into that. When you solve that, there will be no insult of selling somebody. This lady like money. I don't like money. I do the work.
Yeah. So I think there is flexibility within each team to consider changing the policies, and if a team wants to separate itself out from the rest of the co-op and do its own benefits, I don't think that's totally against the current policies, but that depends on the
Yeah,
agreements of the
they do
co-op.
their own
But obviously,
payroll on their own.
FQN is already doing its own benefits separately. And Lucy, if you want to do your own benefits separately, you can consider doing that too. But the co-op will have the final say in that. Okay.
Yes, I know the collab will have the final say in the money, but we will oversee our own money that we brought. If we brought zero, we know by the end of the month that we cannot ask for anything.
Yes.
So that we avoid the blame.
Yeah. So I mean, we can certainly discuss that. But I'm just saying that if everybody doesn't agree to that, then your only option would be to join FQN, or you can split off and create your own co-op. Like we have a third co-op. So we just have to see whether there's agreement to that. The proposal is to separate all the benefits between the teams within the co-op. So everybody oversees their own reimbursements, their own half year bonuses. Everything would be separate. That the actual uh, payments would all be separate. Okay.
Okay, I'll work at it at 9.
So we can vote on that and see what everyone thinks and go from there. But let's finish this proposal up. So I'm going to vote an 8 on this proposal for line 91 to approve the FQN to have full legal responsibility requirements, the same as SFC.
So what is even the legal requirement?
You just have to sign the terms and approve the missions and do it's a stage 5. So you just click stage 5, and so stage 5 this is the only major change to the policies between SFC and FQN. I mean, there's plenty of other changes, but as far as like a primary co-op change, we now go through the legal responsibility for all new recruits. And basically, this this involves getting approval for the terms, right? Just agreeing to the terms, having understanding in writing that everything is the way it is, instead of just assuming that people understand it. Does that make
I
sense?
think this is the same thing I did, right?
It's possible you already did it.
Well, I
I
think
don't
the
know.
highest part here,
Yes, it is possible that you already
yeah,
did it because I've
the
sent this
highest
to
thing
you
here is
before.
mini statement.
Yeah, but it needs to be updated for FQN. Like we need to have separate terms for FQN, so this will get updated eventually, okay?
Okay.
So, do you understand or do you have
Okay.
another question?
So what is 7.5? No, it's okay.
Okay, and just to make sure it's clear, do not approve any terms that you don't agree to, right? So you are not required to approve these terms. What we're required to do is make sure the terms are written based on our agreements, right? So the agreement is that we are following all the existing FQN policies, but the policies are not documented in these particular terms, so we need to document them and get the terms updated so that people who do join FQN understand what they're agreeing to and how it's different and separate from SFC. All right.
Yeah, let me just abstain. I'll go over it again.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying is that you don't need to go over it because I'm not saying that you're agreeing to these terms. These are like the SFC terms. Example. This is an example, right? So you're not agreeing to these terms.
So we have to edit it, right?
Correct. Yeah. So what we're saying is that we're saying that we would be, FQN would be creating its own separate terms, right? So FQN would eventually create its own separate terms that have currently not been updated yet. So you're not agreeing to the SFC terms. You're just agreeing that we will create FQN terms and they will be updated, and then eventually everyone will agree to them. Okay?
Okay.
Cool. All right. So this passes, and then we just have this last proposal, which is a proposal that both SFC and FQN teams would, for all POP changes, would require active recruitment rounds. So no active recruitment requires approval from the HR board and the team to increase your pay on your POP. Martins.
Sorry, I would like to check out.
Okay. Do you want to vote on this last proposal before you check out, or you just gotta go?
Let me vote.
Actually, I think you already voted. I think you already voted a 7.5 on Discord. Yeah, you voted a 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last proposal.
Yeah, line 112. You voted a 7 on this already on Discord.
Oh, okay.
So you're still the same on it?
Yeah.
All right, go for it and check out. Does anyone else need to check out? Martins, can you check out verbally? How'd the session go?
Yes, thank you. I would like to check out now, and I hope to have a session with Jay to continue our appeal. My hyper checkout rating is 6.5. The session was fairly okay. We had a lot of issues addressing regarding FQN, bringing it up again, and trying to move it forward. Check.
Martins, you do not need me for payroll. All of the calculations have been updated. You should be able to just do the proposals and put them on Discord and get them approved. But we can do it tomorrow if you can't do it during Phoenix or whatever, okay?
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Thank you. Does anyone else need to check out? All right.
I don't think
so. So the proposal is that both FQ and SFC teams, that all POP changes require active recruitment rounds. No active recruitment requires approval from the HR board and the team to increase your pay on your POP. So are there questions about the proposal? So
I don't
basically,
understand what you mean by all pop changes requires active recruitment round.
yeah. So currently in the policies, anyone can change their budget whenever they want. So the details is the current policy is that anyone can change their pop and pay rate at any time by the full moon and takes effect in the next budget cycle. So that is the current policy, and so this would change the policy and say that basically anyone can change. New policy would be anyone can change their pop and pay rate at any time if they actively engage in recruitment. Otherwise, their change just needs to be verified and approved, and still takes effect in next budget cycle. Approved by the full moon. So do you understand the change? That basically the only thing that prevents people from abusing the increase of the pay rate is the recruitment. But because nobody does recruitment, it becomes an abuse of power because we don't do the work and everyone wants to increase their pay rate, but they don't want to do a recruitment, so there's no balance. And it really should require training as well. It needs to be recruitment rounds and training. Right? So that's what balance is. Like the whole idea of the model of controlling your own pay rate is that we have an open recruitment and that everybody's pay rate is stable based on the actual requirements of the market, right? Like basically everyone's getting paid fairly based on the open new recruits and who's involved, right? But when we close down recruitment and we increase our own pay and we never even consider training or working with people from the public, it creates a situation where you can just increase your own pay rate indefinitely without anyone else ever getting a chance. And that is not the model that works. It doesn't function. So in most businesses, you don't control your own pay rate. And the reason why we allow people to control their own pay rate is because we have an open recruitment process. But when the open recruitment process has no pay stops and doesn't happen, then it's like it doesn't work. It's just too easy for people just to increase their pay rates without doing any balance on the pay rate increases. Does that make sense?
To me, no.
It doesn't make any sense. You don't understand what I'm saying.
It's not that I don't understand what you're saying. It's just that I'm not agreeing with what you're saying.
That's fine. Yeah, you don't have to agree. But right now the question is, do you understand the proposal? I don't care if people approve the proposal or agree to it.
Yes,
Right now we're just trying to understand the proposal. So the proposal is saying that it's a problem for people to continue to increase their pay rates without any checks and balances. The normal business has checks and balances because you want to increase your pay rate and the organization says no, you can leave, right? But with us, because you're an owner, because we have an open increase in pay rate policy, anyone can change their pay rate at any time, and the check and balance on that is recruitment. So if we have no check and balance on that, it becomes a major problem when we have so many teams. So for example, in other teams in FQN or SFC with like Lucy, I didn't even know that someone increased their pay rate, and then it was already increased before we even knew about it because we have 5 budgets. So there's no way to even know that people are increasing their pay rates.
Example of me. You remember when you are writing on, even when Alberto was there, I will get even the message, you plus Alberto, you are telling me and Mamun to increase our pay rate when you do the review.
Yes, it's fine. Anyone can increase their pay rate. I have no problem with people increasing their pay rate. The problem is that it's impossible to track.
An issue.
Yeah, the issue is that there's 10 budgets and we can't track all of those budgets. And if people are able to increase their pay rate without notifying anybody in the organization and without actually having any recruitment to check and balance the rankings, there's no rankings, everyone's increasing their pay rates, it just doesn't function. It's just too easy to corrupt. that make
So
sense?
there is no pop verification during
Exactly.
the budget. During the
Yes.
budget.
Yes. Because everybody
There is
oversees their own
okay.
Please,
pots.
I
There
have
is
a
no
question.
verification at the, Jay can ask Mamu. I put mine in when then it was taking effect just last month. So he was asking many times for me to increase my pay rate, but I declined. But I think after that I do it myself alone at my own free time. I add. But if that is what make you come up with that policy, then maybe I don't know what next I should do. But anyway, whatever team will pass, I don't have problem. Let them pass. But for me, that's not an issue. If it is issue for me to do, you don't ask me why I don't do the recruitment. I have my own issue why I don't do the recruitment.
You have a lot of issues. Please, I have questions.
For sure. Also, I'm gonna split this up into two separate proposals. So the first proposal is just basically the notification. Let's get everybody notified. And the second proposal is that there's recruitment required, because it's two really separate things. Like, one is the notifications and the other one is the actual recruitment. Yeah.
Recruitment for which team then? You remember when I started with the recruitment on our budget team, you give us the recruitment for WCT as a clan work. When we start working on that as a clan work, I work with Mamu. You say no, it is not a clan work. It is not. It's going to be like internal ops. So I don't know which you should say.
If you wanna help work with getting
I
the
don't
policy, if you want to get the policy training team set up with the public image worker for New World, that could be client work, but there's no one wants to do it. So it's like, if that's something you're interested in, I would be willing to make that temporarily would be client work, but then afterwards it becomes internal operations. Like, it could be a one-time thing. So we did that one-time thing before, it didn't work. Now we have the Spanish team, so the Spanish team is seeming to be more of the um, New World team, because nobody wants to work in the New World in English, except for Old World workers.
In English.
Okay, I'm willing to do that.
Yeah, if you wanna do that, that's fine, but it's still not going to be a lot of money, and it's going to be temporary. So, but if you want to help with that, that would be fine. But it's only client work because it's not your recruitment. You're still required to do recruitment for your own team. Does that make sense?
We don't have budget for our own team, and we are not ready for now.
Okay, but then what I'm saying is that that's fine. If nobody wants to do recruitment, that's perfectly fine. But then nobody should be allowed to increase their pay rate. It's like once that the recruitment ends and all recruitment stops and everyone just wants to get paid for themselves, I'm saying let's allow that to happen. But then you no longer can increase your pay rate without approval from the HR board, so that there's a balance. Do you see the difference? That's all I'm saying. You don't want to ever have any recruitment. You want no one else. You want to keep the money for yourself. That's fine, but then you can't increase unilaterally by yourself your own pay rate without any checks and balances. That should be approved by the co-op and the HR board. That's all I'm saying.
Jay, I think SFC and WCG is totally different team.
No, this is the co-op. It affects the whole co-op, not just the team.
Can we have a separate team? Is it possible?
We already have separate teams, absolutely.
I mean, can WCG do their own things without involving SFC?
Yes, we can have our own policies. The policies do not have to be the same, but it's irrelevant. For me, it's about the co-op, because if one team increases their budget from $500 to $1,000, then the work continuity group team has to cut their budget by $500. So because if other teams within the co-op can change their entire budget, it affects the entire allotment and the entire co-op, not only ourselves. Do you understand, Sandra?
Yeah, it makes sense if you say they should not increase the pay rate if they're not recruited.
Yeah.
I think it's okay.
Yeah. So let's just vote on it, and then we can. If it doesn't pass, I don't care. But the point is that, we can vote on it separately. We can even vote on this separately between SFC and FQN, because if SFC wants to approve this and FQN doesn't, then that can be fine. So, do you want to vote on it separately?
If this is approved, does it affect my POP?
My understanding is that it would affect your pop in relationship to your changing it, but I think that you changed it before we did this. So typically under our model, everything is grandfathered. So because this policy would take effect today or tomorrow or for the next full moon, so therefore your change to the $600 already happened. So this policy would only affect the future, not the past. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So my understanding is that your change of changing your pop to $600 instead of $500 or $550 is would be the last time you would be allowed to do it without recruitment.
Except recruitment.
Or you just go to the HR board. You say, HR board, I want to increase my pay rate from $600 to $700 a month. Is that okay? And if the HR board is like, yes, that's okay, then it's approved. But if it's not okay with the HR board, that you can't do it unless you're actively recruiting. Because when you actively recruit, you can prove that the open market value of your work is correct, right? But without the recruitment, there's no way to know. And since we started, I mean, people, when we originally started working 5-6 years ago, people were working actively at like, $1.50, $2, $2.50 an hour regularly. And now nobody does that because it's just more expensive to live. The dollar has gone up or has inflated massively by almost, 50%. So people need, $3, $4, $5 to live, an hour.
Yeah.
So
that's
just
I
done.
remember I started I think with $2.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, overall, the model works, right? The workers should control their own pay rate, but the pay rate should be based on an open model where it's fair based on the needs of the community and the workers and freelancers, right? So,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, Jay, I did not add any payment. My budget is remain 500 since I've never had any budget. I've never. So the only thing is when you ask with Alberto, that's what I did. And
No,
if
but little, I think that one is soft. We don't even need to go back to it because even if we pass it now, it will still not affect you if you are $6 or you are $2 or you are $3, except you want to increase it again. But if not,
okay,
I think it is not. We don't even you don't even need to talk about it again because it doesn't affect you. You get. So we
okay.
should just do but a way to move forward. If except you want to add
I think we lost the tape. So let's go ahead and just vote, or we can vote on a voting form. Do you guys want to just vote now and get this over with, or do you guys want to do voting form?
You can just vote now.
Okay, so the first two votes on line 110 and line 124 is just for FQN, and this is for Jay and Ate. So no one else needs to vote on these. Then we have the votes for SFC team on lines 139 and 153, and this would be the votes for SFC team. So we're going to do Sandra, Lucy, myself, and then Ate does not need to vote on these. Okay?
no, I will not vote.
Cool.
On 1 for 24?
Line 139. So I'll put here 137 is SFC team, and then our SFC co-op. All the teams within SFC, and then up here, line 108 is FQN co-op. Okay. So I'm gonna vote a 8.5. No, I'm gonna vote a 8.99 on the first one, which is just notification, and then on the second one, I'm gonna vote an 8.75 for actually requiring recruitment. All right. So Ate, do you want to vote?
Okay, so the first one says that when you do your pop changes, you need to notify maybe on Discord or make sure everyone is aware that you have changed it. Is that correct?
Yes, needs to happen by the full moon deadline. So basically, if you just change your pop secretly and no one knows about it, it doesn't count. You have to change your pop by the deadline and notify everybody that you changed your pop so that we all know, because nobody's going to go through 10 separate budgets to verify 10 separate groups of pops. Like, no one's doing that.
Discord, right? Or how do you notify?
However you want to notify. So let's just add a detail like notification can happen as long as it's public, right? So any public notification, so email, Discord, wherever the team typically communicates, right? So wherever the team is actively communicating is where you would notify the team.
Okay.
Yeah, but it could change where the team does its notifications. So you vote a 7 on that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And then, so this passes, and then what about the actual recruitment requirement?
I'll abstain.
So that's a 5?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't think that's gonna pass. I don't think I would be willing to move forward with that, even if it did pass. Yeah, that barely passes, but I'm gonna change my vote to like a 7.5. So this does not pass, and I'll do policy training for changing my vote. So if you have any recommendations on how to make sure it's fair, that would be helpful. Because as a
Yes.
in the point of view of the client,
I'll work and
the point of view of the client is just concerning because the client, would have to pay more and more money without even necessarily knowing what's going on. So let's go on to SFC.
I'm voting 7 on notification.
Okay.
So Jay, my question is, what if the person doesn't notify?
Then it wouldn't take effect after the full moon. They would miss the deadline.
Okay.
They would have missed the deadline because they didn't notify anyone. No one knew about their increase in pay rate, so we weren't able to prepare for the next budget.
Okay.
All right, so for this one, I'm also voting 8.99. And Sandra, do you want to vote?
Yeah. I'm voting it.
Okay, Sandra votes an 8. So this is going to pass. So Sandra, you voted an 8. Okay, so that's for the communications, right, Sandra?
Yes.
So how about, and Lucy, you vote 7, is that correct?
Yeah, I vote 7 for notification.
Okay, so how about the proposal for the recruitment requirement?
I vote 7.5.
All right. I'm voting 8.75. Lucy, you are the last vote. This one. Martine's voted at 7.
That one I will vote 2 because unless we have to solve the issue of, because when you recruit many people, you also need to understand every person have their own needs. We have to know, especially starting with the escrow. If we have to solve this issue, then I'm going to do the recruitment because I know we will manage our own fund. Will not have any. Will not have. Will
Okay,
not collide
so
with meeting.
let's vote. Let's vote on this one in relationship to the escrow, and we can do two versions, one for SQN, one for SFC. So we want to separate benefits between the teams within the co-op, within the SFC co-op, and this one would be within the FQN co-op. So questions on this proposal? Does everyone understand the proposal related to separating the benefits between the teams? So let me give an example. Lucy had the health benefits, right? So if we all pooled together funds for Lucy's health benefits, Lucy would only get health benefits from her own work within her own team between her and Mamoon, and she would get no shared benefits from any New World workers, no one from Spanish team, no one from anywhere else. Okay, does that make sense? Does everyone understand or no?
No, Jay. let me try to put it this way, maybe I don't understand. So if, for example, in FQN, there is a budget for health allocated for FQN. Let's say, for example, we are three of us in FQN, then one person takes the budget for health. That's all for the team. Even if SFC is still having its own, FQN has nothing to do with it. Am I correct?
Yeah, I think more or less it's basically we're talking about
Income.
15% of the budget. It's about 15, 16% of all income from the client goes to 16%, 16.2% of client pay goes to the co-op escrow for benefits. So right now, all of our benefits are collectively done. In other words, it's exactly the same it was done in the past. So before, we all had one group of benefits. When someone wanted a capital payout, when someone wanted a health benefit, when someone wanted extra pay, all of us pooled together all of our money as a cooperative to support each individual based on their needs, and who needed the value first would change. If we
Yeah.
vote on this new thing, everybody's on their own. Every team's on their own. No one gets support from any other team without a separate approval, and everything's done separately, and everyone just has their own separate money, and there's no cooperative support for people with their health needs or their advances or their reimbursements, all that kind of stuff. So it separates all the money out. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Jay, can you come again, please?
So the way that it currently works is the same as it worked before. So when we do reimbursements, half year bonuses, health benefits, capital payouts, back pay, all of that was all done collectively as a single co-op before. So now we have
Yes.
separate teams and we all do our own separate base payrolls, right? But all of our escrow benefits are still done. The 16% is still done collectively as a co-op between all of us, so that we all benefit collaboratively for all of our benefits. So we pool all of our benefits together so that we all get the maximum benefits for our times of need. So in this context, if we are only doing benefits in individual teams, some teams will basically get nothing. Other teams will get, whatever they did, and some teams will just have these massive surpluses. Like for example, the a U.S. team or the New World team will have these massive overtime surpluses because we have very little overtime, right? Whereas the Old World will get no overtime pay because if they're not bringing in the extra money and all the extra money is coming from the New World, but they don't get any of it through the co-op escrow, they don't have access to that. So some teams might have huge surpluses, other teams might have no money at all because the
Okay.
escrows are not shared. Does that make sense?
Yes, Jay.
Yeah.
But they can still have because it's based on income. Because that income that I'm talking about is something that the client work that you did, the team.
Yes, true. The client work income that you do for your team would be for you. Yes, they're for your team. That's perfectly fine. There's no
Yes.
question about that. The question is that any one team might not need the health benefits. The health benefit might be for someone in a different team, and they're going to be screwed because no one's willing to share, right? Because everybody will have their own separate value, and if somebody's stuck in a team and they need health support and their team doesn't have the funds, then that individual will get screwed. Even though there's literally thousands of dollars in other team health benefits, but they won't have access to it. Yeah.
So I thought, supposing all the teams are different, I thought the benefits should be different as well, so that maybe if WCD team worker needed a, should I say, help benefit, it will not be taken from SFC. Could it be different, like individually? Everybody get his or her
Yeah.
own
I
benefit separate.
I think that the like if SFC team wants to split off all of their health benefits, I think we could approve this, and then the work continuity group could still have all of our health benefits shared. So just each team could decide how they want their policies to go and what they want to do, but it would not be done at the co-op level. It would be done at the team level. So there could be agreements between different teams to oversee reimbursement together and health benefits together and half year bonuses together. Does that make sense? So I think one key detail that's missing here that I think is a key question is when would this take place, right? So when would this take place? And I believe the answer is it would go backwards, right? So go backwards to beginning of half year, and that all of the money that's currently shared would be split apart. So all current funds shared would be split apart. Is that correct, Lucy?
Yes.
Correct.
And
Okay.
it is easy because it is documented. Every payroll, they have their own income. It shows how much escrow they have. So it's not going to be like you are taking someone money. They only take what belongs to the team.
Got it. All right. So are we ready to vote? Any other questions? Oh, concerns. Let's go over the concerns. So for me, the primary concern is that it is sad to disassociate the cooperative nature of our benefits and supporting individuals instead of just our own teams. So for me, I think that would be unfortunate. It would also, this will also create significant more work for reimbursement. So it multiplies reimbursement work by 5 or more. It also multiplies the work for half year bonuses, etc., the same as payroll. All right, so that would all happen. Also, it's not clear who is responsible for overseeing HR board benefits. So not clear who would be responsible for overseeing HR board benefits. So we may have to increase the multiplier and percentage of value for HR board, and then contract client work to support the HR board. So maybe the HR board support would become client work. I don't know how to deal with that exactly. Any other concerns? So I think the other concern that I said before that I think is very important is that individuals will get screwed and not have access to needed health benefits and other one-time emergency or problems, right? That occur like a one-time thing. In poor teams, right? Problems in poor teams that are just getting started or don't do enough client work income. All right, so I think that is all of the concerns that I can think about. Any other concerns? So let's go ahead and vote. So Lucy, do you want to vote verbally?
Yeah, I vote 8.99.
Cool. I'm going to abstain. 5.
Okay.
I voted 7.
I vote 8.
I vote 8.99.
So I'm abstaining, so let's see if this still passes. So I'm gonna vote at 5. It barely passes. I think it's fine. So this barely passes. So it passes for FQN, and then for SFC, it passes as well. Okay. Cool. So are we good on this? Ready to? So for me, the only thing outstanding. Well, there's two things outstanding for UMCUS. The first thing that's outstanding. So is everybody copying and pasting these to the decisions? I know that no one likes to follow the policies, but we're losing a lot of decisions because people don't copy and paste them into the decisions channel.
I was doing it. Let me continue doing it.
Cool. So line 49, we have the SFC decisions can be put in SFC channel though. You can just do the FQN ones. But line 202, I put on line 202, so this is still outstanding. We haven't reviewed the previous UMCUS proposal to verify everything for FQN. And then for me, I still have issues as a client regarding recruitment and changing budget. So that is still an issue that we need to figure that out. Because there's got to be a solution. You know, there must be a solution to this. So if you guys are against the solution I had, it would be great to hear other solutions and options. But other than that, I'm pretty much ready to go for December 1st on the UMCUS ATE. So I mean, pretty much I'm ready to approve for December 1st. But we do need to just get everything documented for the proposal, for the UMCUS proposal.
So we separate this proposal to different channels, Jay?
The SFC proposals should just go in the SFC decisions channel, and the FQN proposals can go in the FQN decisions channel. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Anyways, I think we're pretty much done with this. We have until December 1st to finalize the UMCUS, so we just need to get the previous UMCUS proposal, verify everything, update it for the new proposal, and then we approve the budget and everything's good. So are we ready to check out or what?
Okay, so the next thing we need is just the UMCUS proposal, right?
What? Say again?
Jay, the only thing left is the UMCUS proposal, right? Correct?
Well, it needs to be based on the previous UMCUS proposal, so we just need to copy and paste it, review it all, and verify everything. And then there's still an outstanding issue regarding the recruitment and the budget changes and how that's going to be solved. So maybe for Lucy, it's better now that each team oversees their money separately, including with their benefits, right? So that could be enough. But either way, they're definitely, this is a major issue for me that we should solve. Do we need to solve it by December 1st? I don't know, but we certainly needed to solve it before the start of the new leap era, which is December 31st. Okay? So for me, this would be a requirement for December 31st, but we could at least have some options available by December 1st to start figuring out how we're going to address that within the next month. So there could be other.
Do we have separate budget, Jay, for the recruitment?
What, Lucy?
Do we have separate budget for recruitment?
What we have is we put aside funds for the recruitment related to the budget. So when we do recruitment, we have funds available for recruits up to $1,000 right now, so it doesn't come out of the existing team budgets. But once we do recruit people, the budgets will be affected. But the reason why we recruit people is because we don't do all the work. We're not even doing 5% of the work. Like, we're still under 5% of the work is getting done. Like, I would be much happier if we could do at least 10 to 20% of the work, maybe 25% of the work, but we're just not even close. Like, we should be getting 50% of the work done easily, but we just don't. So we need to find people to do the work. And I mean, it's exciting that Ate wants to get involved. This should increase the amount of work happening. Ate, yeah.
So if FQN works maybe 10% of the work, SFC works maybe 5%, then is it W what they also work maybe 6 or 8%. Everything will join together, right?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yes. There's also another team, which is the Unity team that we have all set up. This is also client work for work continuity group because it's VA work, right? So we do need to review the potential income. So that's another thing we need to do is review potential income. Let's just check the budget really quick to see if it's updated. Potential income. So Vortex taxes, sponsorship, accounts. Yeah, this all looks pretty good. I mean, obviously there's no FQN stuff. So is this the correct budget? FQN team. Cool. So that would get deleted, but yeah, all the rest of this looks fine. Cool. So yeah, so this is the current value. We can double check the requirements for deadlines, but my understanding is that FQN is not required to meet deadlines, only SFC team, but we can double check that because I don't think that it's actually required for FQN to do deadlines, whereas SFC is required to do deadlines. Okay? So we can remove the deadline requirements if you want to.
SFC or WCG?
SFC is required to meet deadlines. That was one of the agreements that we had when we created SFC. The SFC would do the client work by the deadline, whereas FQN, like SFC, is supposed to have. No, is it work continuity group?
No, it's
work continuity group is supposed to have, um, pay stops. But SFC does not have to have pay stops, but it is supposed to meet deadlines. I don't remember the policy for FQN. I don't remember if we approved the policy for FQN requiring to have deadlines or not. I just don't remember. So we would have to double check for FQN. But my assumption is that FQN is not required to meet any deadline because we got rid of all the deadlines and all the pay stops. And there's just no requirement to do that. So it's more of just like a requirement to complete work. But anyways, we can verify that. So overall, I'd say the potential income looks pretty good, minus just verifying the deadline question. Okay? I tell you, does that make sense? Do you understand?
Yes, Jen.
Cool.
Yes.
All right. So any other last questions on the FQN budget? And what needs to be done by December 1st?
No, I'll just check the last cost proposal and then.
Yeah. So that should be from May and June. We have the actual payroll because me and Lucy worked on the payroll. I believe it was the 136, whatever it was the May, June, or maybe it was the 130 degree payrolls, but it was May, June, and it was me, Lucy, I believe Mamoon, and then Ate and Joyce and Alberta.
Lucy, can you please help me that the budget proposal for that month? The cost.
I think I will check it on.
Yeah, you can check later.
All right, so I need to get going because our Spanish team starts in 10 minutes. So if we could go to the checkouts, that would be great. But I think we got everything good on this.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm ready to check out as well.
All right. So I would give this session a. We didn't really do much breaks. I'm gonna give the session a 6.2. Very few breaks. I don't think we had no rhythm, which is really bad. Some arguing and talking over each other, but we did accomplish the needed requirements to move forward with FQN. So that's good. So, and I will be working on the payroll for the 98-degree leap era and getting the bonus payroll and token payroll all done. I will be working on getting Sandra's tokens evaluated and verified to me see the exact value of that and how much it'll be worth so that we can send it to Sandra. I'll also be working on Atay's and Joyce's as well as Abu Bakar. So there's actually quite a few people who are interested in selling their tokens. We need to send everybody the sell decree form. From there, I will be working on the recruitment, lots and lots of recruitment going on, and fundraising, outreach, and payroll check.
Okay, I'll go next. I'll give the session 6.5. It was a little bit tense, but at least at the end of the day, we achieved some result. I'm ready to start working and try my best as much as possible as I can to bring in income for the team. I will be working on the budget cost proposal so that the budget will be certified before the December 1st, and I'll equally be wishing if the tokens can be adjacent, if he can check the value and go do the payments. And I think that's all checked.
I do want to make sure it's very, very clear. Although the FQN budget needs to be approved, the SFC pay stop for the recruitment does not affect FQN. So there is a work continuity group pay stop for recruitment. That work continuity pay stop only affects Sandra and Martins and Maxie and myself and does not affect Lucy or Mamoon or Ete. Is that correct?
Okay.
And that's the December 1st. There's a pay stop. All right, Lucy.
Yes. Giving session 5.5. It was a bad session for me. A lot of names called because when I try to say things, people feel like I'm attacking them, but they did not go and check what is there in the document because everything I put all my time here. I do this as my full time. So I feel so bad when someone call me names. I'm like this lady. But all in all, I have to do it what bring me here. I have to make sure I get the income. I'm going to vote even on the policy of recruitment because I'm sure if I recruit somebody to my team, if they need reimbursement, they're going to have it without any like sharing. I've been working other team, they're getting the reimbursement for what I have been doing, and that is why I was feeling like why not giving the team to own their own money because everything is done by client work. All in all, I'm going to work on taxes. I'm going to schedule on recruitment that you said about I think public image documents. I'm going to do. I'm going to start doing the payroll for other years so that at least I will reach where my bonuses. I have a lot of token that a lot of back pays that I need to get it as a token.
Yeah.
So I want to do it. I'll just do it by myself. I don't care. As long as I reach there, I don't care if it is not a client work, I will work on it. And I'm also going to get the AMCAS proposal to a day to check it where we left before. Yeah, check.
Cool. Thanks, Lucy. And we did approve that proposal that will separate all of the benefits, so you shouldn't have to worry about that in the future. So that's should be good for you. Okay.
Okay.
Sandra, you're last, right?
I'll go next. I'll be giving retention a 6. I'm happy everything gets sorted out and we were able to move forward. I can't wait for the team to be fully splitted so that nobody will be bittered anytime someone wants to get paid, and nobody will feel that someone come from nowhere to tip their money, tip what they worked for, or whatever shit. I'll be working next on base upfront payroll, revenue generation, and sorry, alongside with Martins. Check.
I think we are good to go.
All right, we're all done. All right, cool. Good work, everybody. We'll check in later. Ciao.
Okay, okay, Jay, ciao.